Returning to CoinSuri's channel is an absolute pleasure. Request from new viewer is, which of these options do you prefer? Please people cast your vote in the community option. Option A XRP. Option B Ripple. Option C SEC. Here in this video, we'll go over the latest spin on Bitcoin and how it relates to established organizations. Detailed below is an examination of Vanguard and the thinking for their lengthy ETF ban. Now that I've issued some XRP, everyone is saying it will reach double digits. Your opinion on this matter would be greatly appreciated. Companies dealing in digital money BlackRock peruse this for an idea of how much XRP is worth. The Ripple IPO and the continuing repurchase will be discussed from the viewpoints of David Schwartz and Matt Hamilton. We have some interesting things to cover, so sit back and enjoy. Why don't we get on the nearly $43,709 Bitcoin bandwagon? So far, it has increased by 7.03%. With a price of $2,546 23 hours ago, the price of Ethereum has risen 4.19%. The main price of XRP is 58 cents, which is a decrease of 3.6%. Horrible, nothing like hearing that everything is down first thing on a Saturday morning. Looking at USDC, we can see that it has lately risen. The top performer right now is DC. Tethers are holding steady at $1, so it's up 3% from where it was. The negative value of cryptocurrencies totals $1.69 trillion. Lion prides are a popular icon. Kindly make the purchase of these things without delay. You must act quickly. Few are left. In this case, we've released the MOPs 3 times, now you must keep them upright. You must get a MOP tier NFT immediately. This is a $165 credit card. XRP enter the space. Listen up, for the big reveal is about to happen. What I can say is that whenever Mickey B brings up Flare, it's always in reference to the burn. He continues by saying, burn baby burn, because, for the record, some of the supply is this Flare that isn't currently being used. Considering that some XRP community members have decided to drag the rest of us down with their demands to burn Ripple's escrow, fooling themselves into thinking this will cause the price of XRP to soar. Also, I'll be honest and say that it won't. When an escrow is out of stock, nothing will happen. Burning assets that have been removed from circulation and cryptographically frozen for 6 years will not have an immediate impact on the XRP market price. In this scenario, everything would be different. If these tokens were circulated and destroyed, I would be helpless, because they are locked up. When actively freely usable assets are burned, however, deflationary pressure on those assets is exactly what they require. Why are we even having this conversation? After 132,600,000 Flare tokens were burned, we continue to watch the drama twist and turn. Ripple ought to burn the escrow. A price hike is inevitable as a result of this, for whatever reason. It's not debatable that such tokens need to be floating around, just the contrary. It's as though they never existed. Thus, burning them will not work. This deflation of circulating assets you were aiming for will happen if Ripple doesn't distribute their tokens into circulation. The success of this plan, though, hinges on Ripple failing to implement it. If they do, we'll enter an inflationary era, which is terrible for deflation but great for the narrative right now. Worst case scenario, we'll be left guessing what they'll do next since all the stories about Bitcoin ETF institutional demand have failed. Oh, I see. He's totally right. Everyone was familiar with the story. We should expect a dramatic increase in price once the exchange-traded funds, ETFs, become available and the demand from institutions begins on day one. I showed you a video earlier, but I don't know what became of it. More than 20% has been deducted from the stock price of MicroStrategy's Coinbase. Funding and institutional demand are yet in the future, but they will materialize. After monetary investment, what do you think will happen? So, that was first things first. Jongsi Bogle's decision to block Bitcoin ETFs is indicative of how Vanguard and Bogle have evolved over the years. We're planning to visit 2 new places in Beijing for our prayers. Bogle has reservations about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, like equities and bonds, was something he wanted to avoid at all costs. There's more to it than just the price. Like a bond, the value of a commodity like Bitcoin depends on the market price. I am not surprised that Vanguard is doing that because of his Bloss philosophical thinking. Here we are presenting this. Buy a book on Bogle and Vanguard and has collaborated closely with them over the past 2 years. We anticipated this. While Bogle's origins are at Vanguard, his ventures into private equity and other sectors have caused the two firms to differ over the years. Bogle never does anything involving that. However, Bogle did not approve of Bitcoin. By saying he warned against Bitcoin in particular, I think I was quite clear. The thinking behind it is that bonds, similar to stocks, put your money to work for you. Money flows to you as a result of other people's hard work and the value they create. Coiners and others involved in this field would do well to understand this. There's more to it than just the price. Bitcoin and other commodities are like coupon bonds in that their value is directly proportional to the market price. Also, commodities were something that Bogle generally disliked. That being the case, it is objective. Indeed, I do think that some of the public's Bitcoin spirit is compatible with Bogle's populism. Many of them are comparable. It would appear that Bogle's distaste for the fat cats on Wall Street and the present scenario have a lot of common ground. But because of its commodity status, he was hesitant to invest in it. So, I am not surprised by Vanguard's philosophical reasons for acting. Everyone else. I won't say these platforms are pay-to-play, but they're like the aisles of a supermarket. Well, they informed them that they would not be selling your salad dressing in their grocery shop. Certainly not on the initial day. Also, could you tell me what it is that you intend to sell me? And that is how the wirehouses work. Consequently, there will be no ETF listed on the initial day. That's par for the course. Some very perceptive comments there. Just so you know, I made this poll using XRP, and I recently abandoned it. As a result of 112 votes. Please examine it. A few minutes have passed since someone departed from the room. The XRP ETF Wilson price can go into the double digits. We appear to be in a bit of a jam, aren't we? So far, it has 112 votes. Over 50%. To find the affirmative, see to 49.1. My prediction that XRP would hit double digits this year is about to come true, so stay tuned. And that's before we even get into the details of an ETF. Large institutions' investment in the business will cause XRP's price to rise, in my view. It won't need an ETF to reach double digits, in my view. Are we seeing the potential IPO of any more cryptocurrency firms this year? What an interesting piece of writing. The news of Circle's IPO just broke. Many businesses are holding out hope that more Bitcoin startups will start going public this year. I am intrigued by this essay. This was going to be their entry point. Rumor has it that Tresor is one of several crypto businesses planning an IPO this year. For the simple reason that cryptocurrency is currently experiencing a bull run and all eyes are on it. Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, will sponsor an Ethereum exchange-traded fund, ETF, because he sees value in it, has a theory, and so on. Our current system for approving exchange-traded funds, ETFs, has its origins in Bitcoin. You know, it's so basic now. If you take the Bitcoin paperwork, search for Ethereum using Ctrl+F, or replace Bitcoin with Ethereum, and then submit it, you will get a new document with approval already waiting for you. Absolutely, it's the same. Making an XRP ETF requires the use of the Ctrl+F, replace all function. Replace Bitcoin or Ethereum with XRP wherever you see the word. Cryptocurrency exchange-traded funds, ETFs, are the first conduits for institutional investment in the space. This is really simple. This discussion about Ripple is absolutely fascinating. A scarcity of funds is fueling the massive repurchase, says the Chief Technology Officer. Here you can see the complete thread of discussion. As pointed out by Matt Hamilton, it would be counterproductive for Ripple to launch an initial public offering, IPO, since the company does not require cash. Ripple never needs outside support. An initial public offering, IPO, typically aims to achieve this. The absence of a liquid market is evident. Private company stock markets are just as notoriously thin as public ones. According to David Schwartz, it is an extraordinary thread. So that we can calculate the correct price of XRP, please read this before you finish the purchase. Remember that you are looking at a spectrum. I will presume that I am conversant with ranges. In this range, the FIL's fair market value is between $9.81 and $513 million. A price range for XRP has been set by Jamie Vallet's little group, Val Hill Capital. Range, I don't even know what to say. In my understanding, it's a spectrum that can accommodate any possible price point for XRP. Without a doubt, they are right. Specifically, where do we stand on that spectrum in relation to the speech? Go ahead and check out Crypto Basic on your own time. However, we have something scheduled to go out this morning first. Crypto.com, without a doubt, I concur. My statement was correct. An insane 43,000 XRP was lost due to a price glitch on Crypto.com. Completely insane. If I'm being really honest, you won't see price fluctuations like this with most cryptocurrencies. On the other hand, XRP remains plagued by issues. Beyond 43,000, it falls somewhere in the ballpark of Jimmy Valley's 13th idea, I can assure you of that. But even so, that's 43,005, the 13th person on the list remained within Bob's reach. It was pervasive today. Help me out by subscribing to my channel. Until next time.